The American people turn on Elon Musk. Financial crimes exposed. Elon vanishes from public view. Let's look into all that. Welcome to Scrying Out Loud. My name is Trevor. First of all, thank you to everybody who likes, watches, comments on the videos. I especially like your comments. If you give money to the channel, a huge, huge thank you. So, when I was meditating last night after I stayed up to watch Elise Stefanik's um, response to the felon. I did not watch the felon's speech. And she said one line that really stuck out to me, and it gave me some images later. She said, "Do you really want to trust Elon Musk and a bunch of 20-year-olds with your social security and your private information?" It's a great question. And when I was meditating, the images I got were of first, like Elon Musk was in like the center of the squares, like in the stockades in the you know back in the 1800s or whenever that was, probably longer than that, where your hands and your head are in these blocks and you can't move, and people were throwing things at him. This is for entertainment purposes only. Um, I got that image. Then I got an image of him like walking on a tightrope, but instead of holding a pole to keep his balance, he was holding like this huge, big yellow snake. So, not sure what exactly that means, but let's see if we can't figure it out. And then lastly, this morning when I sat down to meditate a little bit later, I couldn't pull up any images of him, which is kind of significant. That doesn't happen very often. Now that can happen with certain people who are really hard to get to because they're kind of reclusive. Um, but I usually have no problems pulling up energies around Elon. So let's just ask a few questions and see what we get. So the first question I think we should ask is, um, and for entertainment purposes only, is Elon Musk committing financial crimes that nobody's aware of? Or just crimes? They might not be financially motivated. He's lost a lot of money, but he still has a lot of money. So I kind of don't think money motivates this point. I think it's more getting away with things, like kind of like the kleptomaniac. That's the energy I get from. Is Elon Musk committing crimes, speak, financial or otherwise? See the German flag, but we've read on that before. I think Germany's going to investigate him. See a room with a bunch of laptops open and the screens are on, but there's nobody in the room. Elon Musk committing crimes, financial or otherwise, and knowing. And I see the Seven of Swords, which is the deceit card. I also see the Devil card, which can be deceit, but also can be mis and disinformation and addictions. Elon Musk. Well, there are guardrails in place that perhaps are keeping him from doing more damage than he is. The challenge is there's a new beginning with the full card. The challenge is his foolish behavior. Yeah, something's going to come forward, something that's fiery that we're not expecting. Yeah, in the past we have loss. It could be the case that he starts to lash out because of as much money as he's losing in this, in the stock market. Now, there are ways of selling options and stuff, but if you're actually the owner of the company, that's supposed to be, my understanding is not legal unless you disclose it ahead of time. Like he can't just sell Tesla stock at any given point in time. There's like certain time frames where you can when it's legal. We get the star card. He thinks that he's invincible. This reminds me of the star in the Super Mario Brothers game when I was a lot younger. Like you get the star and then your character's invincible and can't be harmed. In the future, we get walking away from things that no longer serve us. It makes me think that DOGE is going to go away. Maybe we need to ask that question after this one. Something coming forward about money in respect to his leadership around it, the Queen of Pentacles. We get the Ten of Pentacles. This is an overabundance. This is also thinking of the next generation. This is inheritance as well. He's not doing it because of the money. Yeah, the hopes and fears is that this is going to wound him. This also could deal with ill health as well, but I think this is a fear that he's going to get caught. I think he's already done something, uh, which is ironic because he does have everything that he possibly could want, the Nine of Pentacles. And all his wishes have come true, Nine of Cups. But if one plan doesn't work, try another. It's like he's not content. He's not a happy individual with what he has. Like it'll never be more. The answer is yes. Here we have the courts, the Hierophant, bombshells and surprises, and then we get him isolated and alone, and we get abuse of power with the Emperor card. So it's all underneath the surface right now, but it's going to come out eventually. Now, that might be, not anytime soon. So is DOGE going to go away? Let's ask that question. Is DOGE going to go away, or is Elon Musk going to leave DOGE? Is it just going to disappear? So people are angry about him having so much power. And the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, told his colleagues not to hold town halls. And most of what people are angry about is about Elon Musk and things to deal with money. But in particular, like, why is this guy even there? Why is he allowed to fire people? It doesn't make any sense. So is Doge gonna go away? The answer, of course, is eventually for sure. Like once the Democrats take over again, whenever that is, they're not going to keep that going, or at least it's going to take on a different form, different name. Yeah, it was an illusional and delusional thing to even try. The Department of Government Efficiency ran by somebody who has no interest in the success of the government. I think that's how people are perceiving it. But they were blinded by this concept. They just thought, oh, you know, we'll throw out that we're going to give people money from the savings, but people aren't that naive. People want the national park system running. It is one of the biggest money makers this country has. Yeah, the challenge was the way they sent the message forward about money. That was the Knight of Pentacles. We get the Ace of Pentacles, something new starting around money, a new way of approaching it. It's going to change for sure. In the past, we had that fiery type leadership. They came out, guns ablaze, so to speak, and it's not being perceived well by the public. We get, this destruction of government, this destruction of, the national park system, the destruction of the efficiency inside the Social Security Department, the destruction of, safety around nuclear weapons. Now, some of that's been replaced, but that's no way to run things, right? So people are not happy coming forward in the near term outcome. We get the King of Swords. He's about to be handed the truth. I'm not sure who this is, but I think this might be somebody that the courts might even appoint somebody to go in and see what they've been doing. The government's too big. He couldn't handle it. He's juggling too many things. He didn't realize all the interconnected parts. And then we also have some foreign influence, wanting the government to fail. So, the man's just not very smart in the sense of being able to handle this job. Although I'm not sure anybody's capable of, making these broad-based cuts to the government without causing great harm. I just don't think you can do that. You have to be very careful about what controls what and who's doing what. And this idea of you need to justify your job. Well, maybe he should justify his job is what the public is thinking. You know, everybody, well, not everybody, but most people know somebody that works in the federal government or relies on federal funds. Most teachers do. Most teachers get federal funding, right? Most universities get federal funding of sorts. The post office. These aren't naive, these aren't people that we don't know that are being affected. And I think that's what they weren't counting on. And right now they just think they're in a position where they have to defend their actions and they're kind of indefensible. So they're the stuck in this cycle of trying to justify what they've done, but people aren't buying it. The hopes and fears, we get the Three of Swords. This is a hope for some, a fear for others. The hope here is that it just goes away for a lot of us. The fear is that they'll continue to cut at the heartstrings of the government. Yeah, DOGE has left his reputation completely in ruin. He's, wounded in battle, so to speak, with the Five of Swords. Could possibly even be some health issues. People want somebody who really thinks about what they're doing. People want this temperance type energy, this moderation. Let's take a few steps, see what happens, and then maybe we'll take some more steps. And if they had done that, if they had taken some steps and realized, oh, wait, we just fired everybody that's in control of nuclear safety and then pulled it back, it wouldn't have been as dramatic as if they had taken steps the way they did and just kind of ruined everything. We get the Wheel of Fortune, and I think it's turning against him in this case and against DOGE. Yeah, underneath circles of supports around money. These are people coming together, messages coming forward. Ultimately, judgment has been passed and people don't like it. Why? Because they're starting to learn the truth. And that's going to be the end of the cycle, although we still have some bombshells to learn. So I think Doge is going to go away. Again, time frame wise, that's a tricky situation. It might take a year, it might take two, but eventually um, Doge is going away. Okay. So that kind of answered the question, I think, of will the country turn on Musk as well? I think they already have. So let's just ask that question though and see if we can't get some more insights. You show us how the country will view the country, the United States, how the citizenry in the United States will view Elon Musk going forward. Will they view Elon Musk? Yeah. It's the same sort of image in the water. It's this seven of swords type energy of, you know, he's a liar, a thief, a cheat. Now there will be those groups of people that still support him. Don't misunderstand. They gave him a shot. The country gave him a shot, or at least some people in the country gave him a shot. More than that are currently giving him a shot. And it might have worked if there were guardrails. He might have been okay if he had followed the guardrails that were in place, you know, and like sought out some input from people before doing things. Moving away from troubled waters, people feel like we need to move away from him. We need to walk away from him because he no longer serves us. That's in the past. People have already decided that Elon Musk is not serving the people. He's serving himself or someone else. The people don't necessarily know. And justice is coming towards him. Now, this could just be the karmic justice of, you know, people are like, you know, want nothing to do with Elon Musk. They stop buying Teslas. They stop um, supporting anything that he supports. The near term future, we get thinking about the next generation and the damage that he's caused to the next generation in terms of specifically of financial stability. Yeah, and we're going to get some new leadership around that's going to take his place. There'll be a lot of fighting, a lot of arguing back and forth of what needs to be done to repair the damage that he's caused. The hopes and fears, we're hoping that there's some sort of new beginning, new partnership coming that will salvage the things. And ultimately, what do the people want? This is what the people have always wanted. The people want stability. They don't want to have to worry about what's going on in Washington on a day-to-day basis. They want to live their lives. That's ultimately what people want. People want to live their lives. They want to live, follow their passions, follow their dreams. They want these things to be possible, and it feels like they're not because now people are worried about whether Social Security is going to be there. If you're in your 40s, you're worried about that. If you're in your 60s, you're worried about whether they're going to cut drug programs that help you afford your medicines. Things like that. And this makes perfect sense. This was always his plan. Here's walking the tightrope. This is sort of similar to the image I was seeing, except for with the book and light bulbs. I was seeing him kind of holding a snake to keep his balance. This is the spy in the camp, somebody who has information they're not supposed to have. And I think people are going to come around to that idea that the felon is really compromised and people have a lot of dirt on him. The people are strong and they're resilient and they're not going to put up with it. And that's why you see them out in mass in all of these protests. we get things moving forward, and then we get celebration. They realize that they were, that they're illusional and delusional, possibly a substance abuse issue. Um, he couldn't handle it. He was just juggling too much. He was incapable of doing the job. And he ends up being wounded as a result of this, possibly even have some sort of health problem for entertainment purposes only with respect to that abuse of substance issues. So people are not going to have a good uh, view of him. It might take a little bit of time to fully develop, but it's already started. I think his approval rating in one poll was already in the 30% range. Okay. I'm not sure how to ask this question, but I just saw him. Well, I couldn't see him. He wasn't there when I went to look for him. He vanished, so to speak. So does Elon Musk disappear from the spot? Does Elon Musk kind of disappear from public view in the future? Elon Musk disappear from public view. It's like there's a drinking glass in the water, and it's just doesn't have anything in it. Yet the burdens are too much for him. Here he is. This is the Ten of Wands. This is the unveiled tarot. Marching in line step with the ants. The ants march one by one, two by two, however that song goes. Marching in line step with Republicans and with the felon. But it's too much to take, and he doesn't have to take it. Like, he doesn't have to be doing these things, and he knows that. Now, whether he'll stop, that's really the question we're trying to get at. The challenge is he doesn't know how to make decisions. It'd be interesting to know if he was a very indecisive child. I don't know if anybody has any insight on that, but that's kind of an energy I felt about him is he's not very decisive. He's like, oh, we should do this, we should do this, we should do this. And ultimately somebody else is kind of driving the ship. And now that he's driving the ship, it doesn't work. We get the devil card. This is a everything looks fine on the outside, but on the inside, things are crazy. The dark. There's a devil over his shoulder, something controlling him that we don't know about. This could be substance abuses. This could be other things that would keep you shackled and in bondage or on a short leash, so to speak. Does Putin know something about Elon Musk, for example, that's making him be well behaved with respect to how Putin sees him? This is kind of what this kind of makes a lot of sense. In the past, we have strength. He perceived himself as strong. People perceived himself as strong, but the truth is that the person is laying in the hospital bed hooked up to IVs. The strength is a perception, and that perception is gone now because it's in the past. We get the end of a cycle, the world card, stepping out of the world into something unknown, doing something new. I think he's going away. Again, the timing of these things are really hard, but eventually I think he's just going away. The near term outcome, we get the Queen of Wands. I think he'll go out not with the flicker. I think he'll go out very aggressively, and once he's struck down, then he'll be gone. We have the Seven of Cups again. This is illusion, delusion. It could also be substance abuses. These tend to pop up with him, for entertainment purposes only. Here, the woman's in the grocery store, yet she's seeing herself picking apples in the orchard, right? It's an illusioned thought. I think he has a lot of anxiety, which might explain why, for entertainment purposes only, there might be some substance abuse issues, is to handle the anxiety that he has. Now, anybody can have anxiety. It doesn't matter whether you're rich, you're poor, you're famous, unfamous. Anybody can have anxiety. The hope was in his mind that he would be seen as this fiery new leader that's forging the new way forward. But it was just a hope. It didn't happen. It didn't emerge. That is not how people see him. And then we see the Eight of Cups. He's walking away from things that don't serve us. This is walking away from perhaps DOGE, the government, the felon, taking a back seat. Ooh. I've thought about this happening too. The death card, the end of something, the start of something new. It is possible that he has some health issues because of the devil card and the Seven of Cups. I'm not saying that this is a physical death, but it might be something that makes him step back. We have the high priestess, things we don't know, things we can't see. We don't know to the extent of what this is doing to his ego, so to speak. Do you have the star card protecting us? And I think this is protecting the people, not him. We have the Five of Pentacles here, marching in step, everything seems fine. But if you see the guy in the unveiled part, he's old, he's crippled, he's decrepit. This is often the poverty card. And then something's inevitable, and it might involve overseas issues. Something's going to come to the surface. We're going to discover something that we didn't know um, about Mr. Musk. So, yeah, I mean, stay tuned. I don't think things are going to be going well for him, but we shall see. All right, thanks for watching. I'll be back with another video again soon.